What's up everyone? My name is Carol and today we're going to be chatting about brand archetypes. We're going to be exploring the importance of using your specific brand archetype to number one, up-level your brand, number two, create a more meaningful and unforgettable brand experience, and number three, ultimately stand out in a crowded market. If we haven't met before, I am a brand designer. I design websites and sales pages. I also offer brand strategy and I sell pre-made templates. I work with some of the world's top 7- and 8-figure female coaches. You can see some of my clients on the slide, and I also work with startups as well. I originally started my business 27 years ago, and I used to charge about $25 a logo design. It was a long time ago. A little bit more about me behind the scenes. I live in a very small coastal city called Knysna in South Africa. I have a houseboat. I live right on the water, and I absolutely love swimming with dolphins in Mozambique. I love going on luxury cruises. Last year I was in Croatia, and this year I'm heading off to Amsterdam to do a in-person training with Wim Hof, the Iceman. So that's a little bit about me behind the scenes as well. My superpower is that I'm able to bridge the gap between a personality and their audience that ultimately creates an authentic human connection and increases their natural magnetism. Within a few seconds of meeting a potential client or existing client, I'm able to pinpoint and know exactly what their core archetype is and what their purpose is in the world. And after working with literally thousands of brands over the past 27 years, I realized that branding isn't just about logos and fonts and a website and the color palette. It's about getting really crystal clear on your purpose and your life mission, and this helps set you apart from everyone else. I saw a pattern emerging with my clients, and I've uncovered 4 main core archetypes that you probably have never heard of before. These are the 4 core brand archetypes. But before we dive into that, if you don't know what your core brand archetype is, I'm going to invite you to pause this training, head off to my website, carolhampshire.com/quiz, to take the 60-second quiz to discover what your unique brand archetype is. So if you are back and ready to start the training again, you might have discovered that you are one of these 4 brand archetypes. They are called the boho chic, the mystic maven, the lavish luxe, and the rebel vixen. We're going to dive into now what the boho chic is about, and then we're going to go over each one as well. The boho chic is about is a creator and explorer, and the brand tone is joyful, elegant, warm, and creative. Generally, boho chic personalities are an introvert that thrives on freedom and adventure. On the left-hand side, you can see a illustration there, and you can see that there's an affinity with perhaps water, freedom, perhaps a mermaid. They're heart-centered, they use their instincts in their business, and they're very intuitive. Some of the core words that can be infused into the boho chic is that they are innovative, freedom, adventurous, and they are very creative as well. Their underlining purpose is to support others to have more freedom in their lives. So if you're a boho chic archetype, this embodies free-spiritedness, creativity, and authenticity. It's associated with a very relaxed and bohemian lifestyle with a focus on individualism and self-expression. And when building a brand around the boho chic archetype, you need to use a mix of earthy tones, perhaps textures, natural patterns to create a brand identity that reflects the relaxed and bohemian lifestyle that this archetype represents. The second one is the mystic maven. And the Mystic Maven is the combination of a sage and a magician, and the tone is nurturing, transformative, and soulful. Again, the Mystic Maven is potentially an introvert that thrives on connection and healing. The Mystic Maven is about connection. There's a great affinity with the earth and a healing archetype. Also a huge affinity with creating communities as well. So as a Mystic Maven, your intention is about nurturing, healing, transformation, and potentially soulful as well. Your purpose here on earth is to help heal and thrive, help others heal and thrive to gain insight and wisdom. The Mystic Maven is a brand archetype that represents spirituality, intuition, and mysticism. Most of my clients that work with me are Mystic Mavens, and they are very much about healing and helping people transition into a more powerful space. It's associated with products and services that cater to customers who are looking for a deeper meaning in their lives as well. And when building a brand around the Mystic Maven archetype, it's essential to focus on creating a brand that is calming, peaceful, and spiritual. So here we use a calming color palette, perhaps mystical symbols, and spiritual language to create a brand identity that reflects the mysticism and intuitive lifestyle that this archetype represents. The third brand archetype that I've created is called the Lavish Lux. The Lavish Lux is a ruler and a visionary, and the brand tone is luxurious, charismatic, magnetic, and confident. Lavish Lux personalities are generally extrovert, and they thrive on innovation and abundance. Their element is fire, gold. They're a ruler. Their archetype animal is potentially the phoenix, rising from the ashes. They are also very heart-centered, and they are very innovative as well. They think about new solutions to problems. The Lavish Lux brand is a leader. They are luxurious. There's elegance about them and abundance. And their core purpose in the world is to create security and safety by creating a structure to build wealth and abundance. Lavish Lux is a brand archetype that represents luxury, indulgence, and extravagance. It's associated with the high-end products and services, and it caters to customers who are willing to pay a premium for the best. When building a brand around the Lavish Lux archetype, it's essential to focus on creating a brand that is exclusive, high-end, and luxurious. Here we use opulent materials, bold designs, and sleek lines to create a brand identity that reflects the lavish lifestyle that this archetype represents. And finally, we have the Rebel Vixen. The Rebel Vixen is a hero and a rule breaker, and the brand tone is unapologetic, revolutionary, and rebellious. They are generally extroverts, and they thrive on finding unique ways to solve problems. Their element is the air. They're about supporting, and they are a bit of a unicorn brand. They might describe them as unicorns, and they're also definitely a revolutionary brand as well. Some of the brand elements are, they're outspoken, they're courageous, they're revolutionary, and they're very disruptive as well. Their core purpose is to make a difference in the world by giving people a voice and courage to stand out from the crowd. It's definitely unlocking that voice and helping others find their voice in the world. Rebel Vixen is a brand archetype that represents rebellion, edginess, and non-conformity. It's associated with products and services that cater to customers who are looking to stand out and be different from everybody else. When building a brand around the Rebel Vixen archetype, it's essential to focus on creating a brand that's edgy, rebellious, and a non-conformist. Using bold colors, edgy designs, and rebellious language, perhaps even spicy language to create a brand identity that reflects the rebellious and non-conformist lifestyle that this archetype represents. So the archetype psychology is definitely around 4 general essences, which is about the desire to feel safe, the desire to belong, the desire to feel worthy, and the desire to feel enough. So if we expand on this a little bit, the boho chic archetype, they desire to feel worthy as they tend to overgive to others. The mystic maven brand, they desire to belong as they probably experience abandonment somewhere in their life. The lavish luxe brand, they desire to feel safe because in some way they perhaps have experienced poverty in some form or other. The rebel vixen, that personality desires to feel enough as their voice potentially could have been silenced in the past. And for each one of these archetypes, whatever their core desire is, they in turn want to share this with the world. They've healed from this and now they want to share it with others. And that is what makes them unique and separates them from everybody else. So I want to just show you how my brand, for example, I did share a little bit earlier in this training about my brand, and I went into a little bit of detail about that because I wanted you to connect with my brand archetype, which is the boho chic and the lavish luxe. Now, just because you align to one of the brand archetypes mostly, it's possible that you are probably 80% one brand archetype and 20% another, or maybe 60% one and 40% of the other. So generally I find that the boho chic and the mystic maven are either the main brands, for example, and then the sub-brand would be the lavish luxe, or the sub-brand could be the rebel vixen. So as an example, mine is definitely the boho chic. You'll see that I wear a lot of boho kind of clothes. My home is very much in soft neutrals. I wear a lot of these kinds of colors as well in my brand, in my life, and obviously show this in my brand online as well. So you can see I have an affinity of water. I'm definitely a mermaid at heart. I connect to my clients through their heart, but yet there's also a bit of that lavish lifestyle that I do have. I love luxury travel. I love to experience beautiful things as well. So there's a bit of boho chic and a bit of lavish luxe. So maybe this is a time when you can think about your brand archetype and think about potentially what is your main brand archetype and what is your kind of sub-brand and archetype, and how you can incorporate that into your branding. So I want to give you an example of how I do this in mine so that you can perhaps look at ways and how you can do that with yours as well. So take a look at your brand essence and how can you incorporate that in your brand photographs, your brand colors, your fonts, your Instagram stories, your stock images, and your brand voice and marketing. So you'll see even in my the image of my profile picture over all social media is kind of very muted. It's a bit of a gold tone on there. I've actually put a filter on there, but you can see that it creates a calm atmosphere. I want people to feel really safe around me, but know that I am able to provide a luxury service as well. You'll see that some of my designs that I'm using, including these slides, are dark. There's a bit of gold, but there's also that warmth coming through as well. So that comes through in my social media, as well as some of the products and services that I provide. So when it comes to your brand bio, and I'm going to use mine as an example, it's really important that you can infuse your brand archetype into your brand bio as well. So for example, with my target market, I know very clearly that my top clients desire to be seen as a branding expert, as someone who supports others with their messaging. I want to help people be seen, stand out from the competition, get more high caliber clients. I want my clients to feel confident and to experience that freedom as well, that financial freedom. So I'm very aware and conscious of this, and I put that into my messaging and my brand bio and in all aspects of my branding. So my brand bio, for example, I've got a couple that I use, but ultimately some of them could be infuse your unique essence into a soul-aligned brand, message and strategy that attracts high caliber clients. I also love using this brand bio, up-level your brand to stand out and attract high-level clients. So potentially look at your brand bio. Where can you potentially infuse some of the words that your brand archetype is and put that into your brand bio, because that's going to attract more of the clients that you want to call in and magnetize into your audience, and obviously potentially hire you as well, because the more connected your audience feels with you, the more likely is that they are going to reach out and want to work with you. When it comes to some of the brand vibe and colors, we also infuse this into our brand very, very cleverly. So I do this with my clients, knowing that potentially my client is a Mystic Maven, for example. I know that she will more than likely use colors that are green. I've had clients that actually go out into the forest and have brand shoots out in the forest because they feel more connected with nature. I know that for mine as a boho chic, when I go and do brand shoots, I am in a beach house. I actually have been taking pictures myself in cold water. So you'll see that coming through in my brand personally. When I have a lavish luxe client, she is probably has photographs taken, using a very beautiful luxurious background. She's probably wearing some incredibly gold or metallic colors, and there's luxury kind of all around her. For my Rebel Vixen clients, I've had clients who will go and have photo shoots with graffiti backgrounds. The colors are incredibly bold, they're vibrant, and it's all about being seen and breaking the norms as well. So you will find that some of these colors will be infused into blended brands as well. Like I said, the boho chic, I'm a boho chic and a lavish luxe, so you'll see I use a bit of gold as well as the neutral colors as well. And this better explains it. So here are some of my clients that I've worked with in the past. For example, I have the boho chic. You can see it's a very natural, warm brand using soft colors and naturals. The Mystic Maven brand over here, it's about nurturing, it's about wellness, and they actually use a lot of those words in their branding as well. For the lavish luxe, I use a lot of luxury colors and golds, and there's a feeling of just abundance and wealth. For the Rebel Vixen brand that I created, you can see it's incredibly bold and colorful, but yet there's also an undertone of that lavish luxe as well. So you see how we blend certain archetypes gently into each other as well to create a very, very unique visual brand that's going to stand out from the crowd. And the more we can do this, the more people will align to that, the more of your clients will align to that. Another thing I love to talk about is your brand archetype storytelling. So storytelling is very important when it comes to bringing in clients that are aligned to you. So what personal stories can you share based on your archetype? For example, earlier on in this training, I spoke about my love for freedom, adventure, and travel. I spoke about swimming with the dolphins. I spoke about some of the things that I love to do. That is definitely a boho chic storytelling. If you are a mystic maven, you will probably share a lot of stories about your own personal transformation and healing. You will also share a lot of your clients' stories on how they transformed and they healed after working with you. A lavish luxe archetype brand will probably share stories about their rags to riches, or how they were able to overcome certain limiting beliefs in order to become a success. And the rebel vixen probably talks about acts of courage. They want to highlight certain things that might be happening that they're angry about, right? And they want to rant, they want to disrupt, they want to share their opinion, and that draws in more of their clients. And I think take a look at these and see online. You can probably identify some of your people that you follow online, and you can see how they use storytelling to call in more of their clients and to share more of the archetype as well. So in conclusion, your specific brand archetype can be an extremely powerful tool for up-leveling your brand and creating a strong and distinctive brand identity. By tapping into what motivates you, you can create an emotional connection with your target audience that stands out from the competition and builds authenticity and trust with your potential clients and customers. If you want to learn a little bit more about how to incorporate your brand archetype and create a brand strategy around that, I invite you to download my free brand clarity workbook. It's probably in the link below, or else you can head off to carolhampshire.com and a pop-up will come up and you're able to download the brand clarity workbook for free. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn about your brand archetype. I'm going to be around. If you want to ask any questions, please come and message me on Instagram, or else please visit my website.